let's talk about the Season 1 finale of The Mandalorian. If you've not seen this episode yet, or any of the ones prior, I would advise you to go watch them before proceeding with this video, as there will be spoilers throughout. You have been warned. I haven't made a video about the Mandalorian series on Disney Plus yet, but this is mostly because I just started this channel, and I was still working on my Ahsoka video when the season finale came out. Watched the episode almost immediately after release, and I do have to say, I'm pretty pleased with the ending. I was expecting a character that we've come to know, maybe in a live-action film or one of the cartoon series, to return. However, it was not a person, it was an object. I'm just going to dive right into this. If you've watched the Clone Wars series, or even the Star Wars Rebels series, you're probably familiar with the Darksaber. The Darksaber is a lightsaber that made its first appearance in the Clone Wars series. First, let's cover some backstory of the origins of the Darksaber. The Darksaber is an ancient and very unique lightsaber with a black blade. The Darksaber was created by the first ever Mandalorian to join the Jedi Order, known as Tar Vizsla. After the Mandalorian Jedi's passing, the Darksaber was kept in the Jedi Temple, only to be stolen by members of the House Vizsla during the fall of the Old Republic. The Darksaber was passed down to each generation. Even after the new Mandalorians enforced their pacifist ideals as opposed to the warriorous ways that Mandalore has always seen, Pre Vizsla still held on to the Darksaber. As we see in the Clone Wars series, Pre Vizsla is the leader of the Death Watch and House Vizsla during the Clone Wars. He used the blade to take control of Mandalore during its pacifist state before falling to ex-Sith Lord Darth Maul, who killed Pre Vizsla and took the Darksaber for himself, becoming the new leader of Death Watch. In the hands of Maul, the Darksaber was used to murder Duchess Satine of Mandalore right in front of Obi-Wan Kenobi as a way of revenge on the Jedi who ruined his life. But Maul did not have possession of the Darksaber for long, as his old master, Darth Sidious, came to Mandalore to confront him. Using the Darksaber against Sidious, Maul was still defeated by his old master, left pleading for his life. After being rescued from a separatist prison, Maul returned to the Death Watch camp, where he was given back the Darksaber. The Darksaber is wielded by Maul in several battles following this. After the Clone Wars, during the reign of the Galactic Empire, Sabine Wren finds and takes the Darksaber that she finds in the home of the Night Sisters on Dathomir, home to Maul. This we see in the Star Wars Rebels series. Sabine agrees to be trained with the Darksaber by Jedi Knight Kanan Jarrus. After her training, she brings the Darksaber with her to seek rebellion assistance from her family. Sabine defeats Gar Saxon, Viceroy of Mandalore under Imperial reign, making her the rightful owner of the Darksaber. Sabine then rescues her father from Imperial imprisonment and destroying a weapon she helped to create while she was an Imperial cadet that would bring great hurt and mass destruction to the civilians of Mandalore. After destroying her own weapon, Sabine hands the Darksaber over to Bo-Katan Kryze, sister of Duchess Satine, stating she is the rightful wielder of the Darksaber and leader of Mandalore. This leaves us with the scene of Gideon cutting his way out of his crashed TIE fighter with the very same Darksaber, or so we assume considering there was only one known made, near the end of the season finale of The Mandalorian. Gideon is an Imperial security officer, so how did he come to be in possession of the legendary Darksaber? Well, he seems to be very oddly interested in Mandalorian culture. As we find out in the series itself, he was also involved in the Purge of Mandalore and the Night of 1,000 Tears, the time when the Empire wiped out most of the Mandalorian world. We don't get much, or really any information as to how he came to be in possession of the Darksaber, as the episode ends pretty much right after we see it for the first time. This leaves a lot of questions to be asked. How did Gideon get a hold of the Darksaber? What are his intentions with it? Are we going to get a backstory as to how this happened? Will our very own Mandalorian hero come to wield the saber in future episodes? How will he handle a battle against the saber? Will he need help? Perhaps from a Jedi? The list of questions goes on, and we can only wait for the next season to be released before we likely know the answer to most, or maybe all of these questions we have. What I do know is that this is the very first time we see the Darksaber in a live-action Star Wars story. I feel this is very needed, tying the stories between the live-action films and series to the cartoon series, as there's a lot of information missed for those who have not seen the Star Wars cartoon series. To me, this was a very pleasant surprise, and one that has left me very curious and with a lot of questions. What do you think of all this? Do you have any theories as to how the Darksaber fell into the hands of Gideon? Do you have any theories as to what's going to happen going forward? Let me know in the comment section below. I'll be sure to read them all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.